Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Elle, and thank you for spending a portion of your day with me. So today we are doing something that you guys have wanted to see called Worth the Splurge. Now, you know me, I do love a little bit of luxury makeup. And you guys have always after I said this on my channel a few weeks ago, you were like, yes, please do Worth the Splurge. So that's what we're doing today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before we go on, and let's do it. All right, you guys, so I will start off this video by saying that some of these things were sent to me and some of these things I did buy. And a lot of these actually were sent to me already and I repurchased them. All right, so we're gonna start with an illuminizing primer. I absolutely love the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. I think this is definitely worth the splurge. This, a little bit goes a long way. This is perfect for all skin types. Whenever you guys, except for oily. All right, so you definitely, if you're oily, don't want to put this all over the face. You can use it in strategic areas. But I think that this gives an amazing, elegant, and modern glow to the skin that I actually haven't been able to really define or replicate in any other product. Some of them are similar, but none of them really do as well as this Becca product. I think it's awesome. All right, so for foundation, my favorite go-to high-end foundation, I mean, let's be real, most foundations cost like $35, $45 now, but this is the one I find myself reaching for all the time. This is the Dior Forever foundation. It is a more of a radiant matte finish foundation. I'm in color 25, sometimes 15. I will be more of a 15 whenever we get into the colder months. But I love this foundation because it hides pores. It makes this beautiful kind of soft matte formula. I feel like whenever I suggest this to clients and then they go out and try it, they're like, oh my gosh, where has this been all of my life? It is a medium to full coverage, but of course apply it lightly and it will be a light finish. This product is very buildable. I did do a Foundation Friday on this if you want to take a peek at that. But it is just one of those foundations that is super special and I can't find anything to replicate it when I want this kind of finish into the skin. I absolutely love the way that it dries down. It absolutely hides pores. So if pores is a situation for you, this might be your holy grail foundation. And again, with this foundation, I find that I have to use less than I normally would with other priced foundations. And you can see it just gives the skin this beautiful kind of wash of color. And it's a very mattifying, but it still has a shift to it and it goes on incredibly fast, lasts a really long time. And I think it's just one of those foundations that's perfect for almost every skin type. All right, and then my last recommendation worth the splurge for foundation is absolutely the Makeup Forever Water Blend Foundation. This is just a different finish. I decided to give, a little bit more full coverage today. But this one definitely is worth the splurge as well. But I've talked about it so many times, I thought I would change it up. All right, so for concealers, I have a little bit of an issue. I have this whole box down here of product to show you guys. Reason being is because my favorite one is the Maybelline Fit Me. The Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. It's my favorite concealer ever, and it's drugstore. But if I was going to spend money on a concealer, I absolutely love the Bye Bye Under Eye Illuminizing concealer. It's definitely more for people that have more mature skin, more dry skin. I absolutely think that the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer is absolutely worth the splurge for sure. You're gonna see me go down a lot today. All right, and with this concealer, you only need a very little bit, and I tap this on with my finger, just like this. And then I take my little booty blender and I buff it in. Isn't that a beautiful concealer? It can go on super heavy, so you just have to really work with it. But I shouldn't say always, but the one when I do get ready, like I go full out, I absolutely love the Charlotte Tilbury Retoucher. I'm in number 1. I love Charlotte. I love her brand. But this and one other one I'm going to show you is the only thing in her brand that I feel is worth the splurge. And again, this is all just my opinion. This is it's like a highlighter, a luminizer, and I use it just in these strategic areas to add a little bit of extra light to this under eye area. It's not concealer. It's definitely more of a highlighter. It's like the Touche Éclat pens that they make, very similar to them, but I feel like it's a better consistency. And it's just to add a little bit of luminosity in here. And I like a bright under eye. All right, so before I move on to the rest of the face, I am just going to go in and do my eyes a little bit. Sorry for so much noise. I absolutely love, I got this recently. I paid for both of these myself. This is the Eyes to Mesmerize Marie Antoinette by Charlotte Tilbury. It's her cream shadow. She makes a lot of different colors for this shadow line, and I just find these to be stunning. They are super quick, they last all day long, and they're very, very pigmented. So you need a very little bit. This will last you a really, really long time. A very, very long time. This one I'm using is kind of a coppery, browny color, and it's one of those that I use in a rush if I'm, having to go out and look semi put together, and maybe it's nighttime and I want a little extra shine on the lid. This is what I use. And it's one of those cream shadows that as you blend out, it looks like you're wearing several different eyeshadows. Look how pretty that is, and look how quick. I'm just using it on a synthetic brush. Awesome. And then I'm going to pull a little bit of that color underneath the eye, just to give it a little smoky effect. And I actually didn't even use the amount that I pulled on my finger, on the back of my hand. A little bit goes so far. All right, so that was as easy as that eye was. I'm going to curl my lashes, and I'm just going to apply some mascara at the top first, and then I'm going to set the face and move on. I was going to include in this, whenever I originally thought of doing this, one of my lash growth serums. It's called Revitalash, and I actually speak very highly of it. But I stopped using it a couple months ago, and I know this happens with a lot of them, but unfortunately all of my long lashes fell out. And I was really, really, really bummed and disappointed. And it has happened before, but not to the extent that it did this time. I've been using it for about a year. So it really does work. It just has really kind of crazy side effects. But what I'm using now is I'm using a product, it's an oil, and I'm going to definitely be responding back to you guys and letting you know how that's working right now. You guys know that I talk about this all the time. This is the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir Mascara. I absolutely love this mascara. I think this is for sure worth the splurge. I bought this product. I will buy it again. A little bit goes a long way. It lasts a really long time. It is not drying to the eyes. It has silk fibers inside of it, so it really adds to the length of your lashes. So you know those fiber mascaras that were so big a couple of years ago? This is that same kind of technology, but without having to put the fibers on first. It's actually in it. There's nothing loose though. It's not going to fall in your eye. It just has lengthening technology. And it just builds up so much girth for your lashes. It's just one of those mascaras that I absolutely love. And using this with a primer, which I'll show you my favorite primer in a second because I use on the bottom lashes, it's just out of this world. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and move on to one of my favorite parts, which is setting the face. This portion will not be a shock to any of you guys. I have a long time love affair with Hourglass. I absolutely love what the product line stands for. It's the only thing I trust to set my under eyes and really to set the rest of my face. It's the only thing I trust on clients. It looks beautiful in pictures. It's just a really well-made face complexion line. Oh my God, I have so much Hourglass sitting here in front of me. I don't even know what to do with it all. Okay, so to set the under eyes, we just know that I use dim light. Sometimes I use ethereal light. For the rest of my face, I have a tendency to use dim light or luminous light, but I have been combining it with the Kevyn Aucoin Neo Setting Powder. Whenever you guys comment on my complexion in my pictures, I'm always using this combination to set my under eyes. So I'm going in with my Kevyn Aucoin contour brush, but I use it for under the eyes. I take a little bit of my Neo Settings Powder from Kevyn Aucoin, go into dim light, and I start on the outside and just tap in. I find that these powders are so beautifully milled. It just gives a luminosity under the eyes. They are a baked powder, so that means that they once were a liquid, and then they were literally baked, and they cannot give you any kind of chalkiness. They do not have any kind of glitter in them. They are mica based, so if you have a talc allergy, that's awesome. But if you are allergic to mica, unfortunately, this will not be a product line for you. They use mica because they're more mineral based. And then for the rest of the face, I just take this, since it's going into winter, which is dim light, and I kind of just set all around. And I just love the glow. You know, I have dry to normal skin, and it just blurs imperfections. It makes the skin look gorgeous, and it just gives a luminosity that I have not found with another powder. All right, so for my oily girls, the powders that I recommend that are definitely worth the splurge, I did buy this one, and I did buy this one as well. This is the La Mer The Powder. I think it is absolutely well worth every dollar spent. It's probably the only thing from La Mer that I feel is worth the money besides their oil for the face. And possibly their foundation. And then this is a little bit lower price point. This is the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder, and this is in light translucent. It comes in a lot of variety of shades. I think that they're both beautiful setting powders. They don't look chalky on the skin, but they definitely are for more summertime or more of my combination to oilier girls. So for the face, like contour, things of that nature, I have a couple that I want to recommend. I absolutely love this Kevyn Aucoin. This is their the Contour Book, Volume 2. I think this is fantastic. I use the cream contour in here all the time. I use their highlights all the time. This is a beautiful shadow. But their sculpting powder is really beautiful for a very kind of natural contour. Well worth the money, that is. But this one by Hourglass is my go-to. This is Diffuse Bronze Light. I absolutely love this. You know me, I use this on my eyes, and I use this every single day. I think it just is so gorgeous. The Tom Ford bronzers, in my opinion, are also well worth the money. They are, here it is. So here it is. This is the Tom Ford bronzers. They are so big. I don't know anybody that could go through this in a year. I mean, who goes through that amount of bronzer in a year? You would have this forever. So those are my three kind of bronzer contouring products that I definitely think are worth the splurge. So now for as far as highlights, I love a good cream highlight, but I absolutely am obsessed with this one by Dior. This is the Dior Skin Nude Air Glowing Gardens in 001. It is the most beautiful, pinky, highlighted color. They do make a gold one that is gorgeous for deeper skin tones or people that are a little bit more warm. I'm neutral, so I can go both ways, but I want to show you this. This is so beautiful. I'm using it on a Morphe brush. High end, not so much. I just want to show you, it is like a cream, but in a powder form. And it is the most modern and undone highlight, if I can say that. If that makes any sense. Look how pretty it is. It doesn't necessarily look like highlight. It just looks like glowing, radiant skin. Again, these powders are so pigmented that I don't even know how you could go through this powder in a year either. I have had this for a very long time and I have barely dented it. I just think that it is such a beautiful, beautiful highlighter. If you are looking for a highlighter that you're never ever going to be upset that you bought it, this is it. So good. All right, and then my favorite blushes, you can pick your favorite. You can, sorry, Moto's in here. You can pick your favorite. This is the Hourglass blush in Euphoric Fusion, which is a purpley color. They have one in Incandescent Electra, which is this beautiful kind of peachy color. They have this one, which is a very light blush. This is in Brilliant Nude. It is gorgeous. All of the blushes you can't go wrong with, so just find one that is, you know, perfect for your skin tone. But today I'm going to be using this Euphoric Fusion. I've been really into this color. It doesn't look purple on the skin. It just has this really great berry, finish to it. All right, stunning, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so to finish off the eyes, I have been obsessed for a very long time with the IT Cosmetics Tight Line Primer. I usually use it on my top lashes too. I actually forgot. It is the tiniest little wand ever, but I love to use it on my bottom lashes. This is probably by far one of my very favorite primers that I've ever used. I absolutely love their Superhero Mascara. I think it's fantastic. But this little primer is something special. It really separates the lashes and makes them perfectly primed for whatever you're going to put on top of it. But it is black, so you don't have to put anything on top of it. If you want more of a subtle, you know, a subtle lash look, you can just use it by itself. All right, so brows are on. Okay, finally lips. So I have been wearing a lot the YSL, I want to get the name right, the YSL Couture Matte Stain in number 7. I love this color. I think that these formulas are so gorgeous. I've never ever replicated this with another product. I just think that the color is so perfect for a lot of skin tones. It's like the perfect matte. I will pop it on now. The applicator is so easy to use. All right, so that is the lip. I think it's just so beautiful. It's very wearable. It feels very comfortable. It feels like I have nothing on. The other lip that I would invest in, because you know I don't wear super, super high-end lips. I enjoy my L'Oreal lipsticks a lot, is the new NARS. These are called Power Matte Lip Pigment, and this is an American Woman. It is so beautiful. I also bought this myself. I think that these are really pigmented, very comfortable matte lips that you can actually put on a lip gloss right over. And I'll do that with this sometimes too. I'll put a lip balm or a lip gloss. Depends upon how I want everything to kind of look. All right, and then my final is just, you know, quick setting spray. And I don't have like a high-end one. I just love the Too Faced one. It's alcohol-free, silicone-free, oil-free. I mean, I guess it is kind of pricey, but that is just the one that I always reach for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any questions about anything that you think you should splurge on or any ideas for some future videos, please let me know. I love to hear from you. And that's it. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Lots of love from me to you. Mwah. Bye, you guys.